different stages and you listen to the,
And
I
you
don't
do
know. We used
more
to have to work
shrooms.
mushrooms. We always, when I was in radio, we always had to work like Lollapalooza, and there was something other palooza that was always on the East Coast. I can't think of it what it was. Anyhow, I think it was around
On
St.
Randall
Patrick's
Island.
Day.
There was something on Randall Island in New York.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I don't know. I never spent the night there. I just couldn't, but you know,
I mean, more power to you kids. But apparently, so are Kyle and Morgan Donzo.
I could see it. I could see it. I do not think that Morgan was ever that into her. I think Morgan loved the idea. Kyle was infatuated. I mean, madly in love. That episode that was so beautiful that honored Lorene. I mean, Kyle is organizing the whole memorial, and then Morgan starts strumming that guitar and she has to stop everything. She's just it's like a moth to a flame. But I never got the vibe that Morgan was all that. Again, you're seeing them in small moments, you're and certainly that red carpet photo where Morgan's like tapping her butt, I mean, they were into each other. So what do I know? But I will be devastated. In my mind, these two are already together. Like we were going to get this, lesbian fairy tale on RHOBH. But I think for Kyle, there's so many things there, don't you? There's so much. Even though being gay is completely fine now, everybody accepts it. I feel like nobody has an issue with anyone being gay. I guess some
You
people.
don't? I always say, I
Yeah,
think
you tell me this all
the
the time. Yeah,
world hates the gays. The
yeah,
world
you always
hates
tell
the
me that.
gays.
Well, I feel like the world hates the trans people, but I didn't realize.
The world hates the trans people even more. I would
Okay, so
agree with
you're
that.
right. You do. You always tell
I
me.
think there's a lot of people that live in a older society and they hate us more. I mean, they hate us more than you think.
Well, to your point, to that point,
It's not
Beverly
nice.
Hills,
It's not nice.
Beverly
Not
Hills is
nice.
old school. Beverly Hills is old school. It's old. It's conservative usually. It's so I don't know. I just think to myself, could she really do it, or do you think she is part of that old school where she could like they've done.
Is this Kyle's way of saying you gave me an ultimatum and I ain't showing you nothing? And Morgan, or is this a secret breakup? Madly in love, and she's like, "Oh, you're giving me an ultimatum," which, mind you, no one is fucking firing Kyle Richards, but you're giving me an ultimatum. Show Morgan, or I'm in jeopardy. Guess what? There is no Morgan. We're over. And Morgan's like, "Thank you, darling. I'm not going on that crazy show because my music is serious." And I go, and then they're like sneaking around at night and getting down. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think so.
Cameras? You
I
do.
think so. What do you think? I feel like they're Chateau Marmont, which is notoriously no cameras. You take a picture, you're banned for life.
Let me tell you about Chateau Marmont. I had this Barbara Kay. You know that Barbara Kay from Roni?
Yeah, I
Remember
love her.
her?
She's my lesbian crush. I love Barbara. Give
She's
that
your
woman a
les
hammer. She can build a house. Like, I love it.
Okay, well, Miss K visited me here in sunny Los Angeles probably like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. She did not stay with me. She stayed at the Four Seasons. Oh, she's another one. Coachella. Barb, are you fucking serious? But you could see Barb at Coachella. So Barb said, "We're going to dinner at Chateau Marmont." We go, we pull up, we walk in. She's so excited. We need to take pictures together. I'm like, "Listen, girlfriend, I'd love to take a picture with you, but I don't think here is the time and place to do it." She's from New York. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Barb, no, I don't know for sure because I forget, but I don't think that you can take a picture here at Chateau Marmont." I've never, what do you mean? I'm going to take my phone out and we're going to take it. "Barb, I don't think you're allowed to take your phone out here." She's not from LA. She's never heard such a thing. We're taking pictures, pulls out the phone, selfies with David from behind the velvet rope. And Barb, our waiter came over and said, "I'm going to take your order now, and we're not going to take your phone or anything, but ma'am, we don't allow pictures. So you have yourself," very condescending. "You have your selfies. We hope you enjoy your selfies, but those will be your last selfies of the evening, ma'am." And he leaves the table, and I said, "See what I told you, girl."
Usually when you walk in, the time that I went, I walked into Chateau Marmont and there is Kanye West and Bianca Cesori or Cesoni, however you say her last name, sitting holding court in this one area and just every bit the movie star. I was like,
I
why
mean,
not? I had all I could do because they were sitting by themselves. Now, I'm sure there's probably security lurking, but I almost went over and said, would you be interested in a podcast interview on the Sarah Fraser?
honey, I know. Listen, Kanye is a good one. Kanye would be he would
Is
be
he?
up there.
Everybody says he's a total anti-Semite and
Well,
horrible.
that's why he would be. Well, yeah, he'd be like a great interview because he'd be so like combative. Um, yeah, that's a good one. I
But
saw
then
who
you
do
got to make the choice. Would you air a interview? I mean, this is like Bill Maher said. Bill Maher just recently sat down and then he wouldn't air it because he's such an anti-Semite. He said, no way, I'll never. Would you, I mean, are you going to air something like that? It goes off in the world that we're in.
I mean, that's actually one of our questions for the Q&A.
All right, don't
For
answer it. I'll say if I would air an anti-Semite.
No, they didn't ask that. They said, "Have you ever done an interview so bad that you wouldn't air it?" So that was one of the questions too that popped up from our Stephanie, our producer. So there you go. I don't know what was my point about shit. Oh,
That's
yeah,
over
I
mine.
don't
It's
know.
very secretive. We don't know where do Morgan and Kyle go now.
Now, Lisa
I can
Vanderpump has
see
weighed in,
it.
by the way, and said that she doesn't care who is munching on Kyle's stuff. But really, I think that's a direct quote from Vanderpump. She said, "I don't care who's munching Kyle." She used those words, not me.
Well, I mean, I've also read that they're starting to film this month, RHOBH.
Well, we're recording this in April, two days before May. It's May when the kids hear this. Where is the April recording? They said April. It's not going to be April. I think
Well, I think
Dorit's
they
the
had
issue.
shakeups. Okay, what? Yeah, tell me. The report was this past week that Dorit is gone. What do you think?
My sources, as of the recording of this 3 days before you're listening to this, are that that's not 100% confirmed just yet with Miss Kemsley leaving. Here's the thing. I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Like, where is all this coming from? Like, right? Like, we had the Robin Dixon smoke, which obviously she was being fired, and then she was. So I'm tending to come around and believe it, maybe.
You think Nick
No?
is gone too? Because see, I just had our friend Carlos King on Reality with the King.
And
He says he doesn't think NECA is gone because
see.
what was the point? He thinks that, we barely got to know her. Everything was overshadowed by this flop of a Robin Dixon, Juan Dixon cheating scandal. And he thinks